Hey y'all, all right, we are back in part two of the instrument cluster odometer repair for my 92 D150. Um, it's pretty involved, I'm not going to lie, but these four screws have got to come off next. So, okay, all right. Now, right now is a good time to have a delicate, patient touch with all of this stuff because you don't want to go in here like some kind of bear or some kind of animal or something. You want to go in here very delicately and you want to examine everything very carefully, very cautiously. You don't want to come in here, start just tearing crap apart left, right, and center. Okay. Now when you push this this part, this sticks out through the speedo, out through the instrument cluster, and you push that, what you're doing is you're pushing this back like so. Okay, you're pushing it back like so when you, okay, and that resets your odometer, your trip odometer, that is. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see in here and make sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be. It's all looking pretty good. So I'm going to take these two screws out right here. That may be my culprit. I don't know because my odometer is not working at all. I think these two hold, yeah, they hold on the motor. Okay. All right. Okay, I see it right there. You see it? See that blue gear right there? It's missing a tooth. Okay, well, that is unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. Really dislike that. So see, that whole unit there just comes right out. So that blue gear comes out. It slides right off that. Okay, so see, I'll put that back on there so you can see what I'm doing. See, the blue gear and the white piece behind it, the backer piece, comes off together. It's got a little spring thing here on the bottom. This goes into this whole assembly. It goes inside there. Okay, just like that. Okay, so, matter of fact, I'm just going to put it back in there just to keep it together. So, just a quick little cursory look at my gears right there and make sure they're not. Oh, I see the part of tooth that got chewed off. You see it right there? See the little blue part right in there? Yeah, that's what caused the. There's where that blue gear went to. Okay, so just about had a catastrophe right there. So I need to just pick that or that gear out, because if I don't, it's going to cause trouble if I can find a replacement. I may have a replacement for that blue gear. If I don't, well, I won't have any working odometer for a while. All right, I'm going to go and see if I've got a replacement for this broken blue gear. And it feels like, does it come off of the white part? I don't think it does. I think it's, oh shit. Well, that was brilliant. Okay, that gear is like super, super brittle. Okay. Yeah, that was brilliant. Brilliant on my part. Okay. All right, be right back. Okay, y'all. Score 1 for being a hoarder. Look at there. I had one. And you can bet yourself I'm going to be very gentle with this one. Okay? So, learn from my mistakes. These guys are very, very brittle. Okay? Don't come in, like I said earlier, don't come in here like a gorilla on crack or something trying to do this. All right? Be gentle. Take your time. Be patient. This is where it's going to pay off. Okay. So, now I just got to put all this back together. So, anyway. Now, one other thing I want to tell you about. Be sure use some sort of grease on here, probably dielectric grease or something like that. Okay, so that's what you want to use. But yeah, I'm really happy I was able to find one of those, because I was like, oh man, I broke that. Oh, but hey, I'm glad I found one. So yeah, like I said, score 1 for the hoarders. Now I even got another one of those. Oh no, that's different. Okay. Oh, and just so you know, if you're doing this and you want to replace all of this with one like out of a Dodge van, they don't work. Just take my word for it. Okay? Because see, this Speedo is not driven by a cable. Okay, it's driven by electric impulse from a sensor in the transmission. So this is all going through the computer. Yay! Okay, but the great thing is that when you can, if you're like me and you want to hoard up some of these old parts, if you see, really early 90s Dodge trucks, like 91, 92, 93, stuff like that, go ahead and grab them up. Grab up the whole instrument panel, the instrument cluster, especially in the salvage yards, because you're going to need it. So, okay, here we go. I'm just going to put a little dab will do you. Okay, we're just going to smear a little bit on this. Oh my God. I just smeared the grease on here, and it's literally just falling apart. Look at that. It's nothing. I should have put it in there without any grease at all. Son of a gun. This sucks. This really sucks. Okay. Yeah, I was getting all excited. I was like, oh, I'm going to get it back together. Yay. Okay. I'm going to have to come up with something else. All right. Be back in a minute. Look here, y'all. I found a third one. Oh, my God. As you can see, this thing is going to go in there very carefully. Okay. I've got it in there. Oh man. so see, this part goes right there, and then this goes up in the electric motor. So let me just very carefully. Yeah, you got to be so careful with all of this. Can't just. Oh God, Jesus. Okay, the whole thing came out. Okay, maybe I can make that work. All right. So, okay. All right. I got this sitting in there. I don't have the screws in it yet. I'm going to be very cautious, and I'm not going to use my little electric impact. I'm just going to very cautiously put these screws in by hand. Okay. So I'm going to do that. It's just Phillips head screws. While I do that, I'm going to pause this because, well, it's not much to watch. Be right back. Okay, y'all. All right, I got these two screws in. So now we're going to go and we're going to turn this son of a gun over. Wait a minute. No, we're not going to turn it over. Wait a minute. Yeah. I'll go through like that. Yeah, like I said, this is tedious and time consuming. This little stem sticking out right there, my finger is touching, that's what your Speedo attaches to. Don't bend it like I did. I bent that one just a little bit. I've bent it before. It's not too big a deal. Just get yourself a pair of needle nose pliers and just straighten it up. Try to straighten it as good as you can, I guess, by eye. Okay. Okay, so anyway, this is not sitting in here like it should. Oh, okay. All right. There is like okay. All right. Now something else that goes wrong on these, and I'll show you real quick. This is another one of these instrument clusters. Let me put these screws in first here real quick, okay, before I lose track. Whoop, a little too excited there. I mean, this is 20-something, almost 30-something year old plastic, so I got to be careful. Oh, okay. Honestly, I'm just going to be brutally honest with y'all. If this works, I'm going to be really happy. If it doesn't, I'm going to be like, well, okay. All right, let me show you what goes wrong on these all the time. Okay. That's that's how your speedo works right there, okay? That hand right there, that needle, that's what your speedo arm, your needle connects to, okay? There's basically, it's a magnet that spins and it causes this to move, okay? So the speedo needle attaches to that. This gets moved by a magnet and causes it to rise up there. As it spins faster, causes it to go further. Okay? See, that's how that works. But what keeps these from working is, you see these series of gears right in there? They will break and they'll cause the whole thing to go to hell in a handbasket. So, and then of course you saw that gear that goes in there will break tremendously easy. It's like it's made out of paper mache. So, now, some of you may be asking yourselves, why not convert to some other kind of speedometer? Well, I've been thinking about that, and I may just do that, because these parts to keep this up aren't getting any cheaper. Well, they're not getting any, well, maybe not cheaper, but they're not getting any easier to find. That's the thing, is they're not becoming any easier to obtain, because, finding them, that's the big thing. If I can find them, then it's like, oh, okay, hey. But if you can't, then that's what sucks. Okay, wait a minute. I'm about to get into trouble there, so I need to put my speedo face on. Wait, before I go any further. Okay. This little arm here needs to go ahead and attach to this. This just snaps on. Well, you can also slide it on like I did there, and then just bring it up like that. Go ahead and do that before you put your speedo face on, or this little plastic piece. Okay. I'm just shaking it, see if I hear anything rattling in there. So just put the 4 screws back in. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera. And, okay. Oh. You about caught me screwing up right there on camera. Okay, so here we go. There we are. So put the 4 screws in. Like I said earlier, now's a good time to clean any of this if it needs to be cleaned. This is not terribly complex, difficult work. However, it does take patience. So I'm going to tighten these screws down real quick, and I will be right back with you. Okay, I'm back, and we're going to put the speedo handle up here. It's always registering 50 miles an hour. No, I'm teasing. Remember I said, okay, there we go. Now, there's one time I did this, and I didn't mark, or I didn't mentally take note of where this was at, and I put it up too high, and it was like showing the speed being way higher than what it was supposed to be. So then now this guy, we'll just put this on there. So it's really important to just support it from the back side, okay, like I'm doing right there. You see what I'm doing right there? Just put my finger under there. There we go. All right. Now that is done. Okay. Now I've already got dielectric grease on these contacts. I'm going to put just a little bit more. That way there is no no reason for them to have, there's no reason for them to corrode up. So now when you set this in there, you just set it in there, you line it up, okay? You just line this son of a gun up. It's not that hard. What you're trying to do is these contact points. There's some contact points over here. Those right there. Okay, see where those wires are running to? These contact points. There's 3 of them, and they've got to line up with these 3 pins right there. Okay, so they got to line up with those. That's what you got to do. So I'm putting them down on there like so. Just very cautiously, carefully. You don't want to like okay. It does take a little bit of force, but you know, like I said before, it's finesse. You don't come in there like a gorilla on crack or something. You know, we're on tons of coffee. Okay, I'm gonna clean this face up here just a little bit because I've gotten my fingers on there with a little bit of dielectric grease, so I've got to clean that off. I'll be right back. Hey y'all. All right, I'm back. I got it cleaned up there. I use just glass cleaner. You know, I would probably use something that's, you know, automotive grade, something with no ammonia in it. I don't know how delicate that paint there is. It may be much more delicate than, you know. And that also brings to mind, don't be using something like brake parts cleaner or something like that in there. You know, carburetor cleaner, anything like that. I wouldn't use any solvents in here at all. This is kind of one of those areas you want to try to avoid using solvents. Okay. All right, I'm going to run these screws down. See, it uses a T20. Okay. So we'll get the T20 out here. There it is. Just run them down here. Again, caution, you're working with 25-plus-year-old plastic, so yeah, be careful. Oh, another word of caution, another word of advice. If you're going to do this, go to the salvage yards, junk yards, and get you some clusters, take them apart, keep your parts, keep all the little bits and pieces, because you don't know. I mean, like these broken gears, I'm going to keep that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang on to that. And when I go and I find somebody with like one of those printers, 3D printers, I'm going to say, hey, can you 3D print something for me and then possibly put that gear back in there, you know, that tooth, you know, can you do that, you know? Maybe they can, maybe they can't, I don't know. But, you know, used to, I mean, that's just the nice little march of technology and progress. Not that this is a shining example of that statement, but because, you know, I'm thinking to myself in my brain, you know, you can have this, it won't go up to the 100,000-mile mark, but you can have this in like the old mechanical speedometers. And that, to me, that's pretty darn cool. So, try and get you all right there. Okay. So, anyway. So, yeah, if yours is like mine and the odometer stops working on it and you don't want to go through all of this, you might want to go with the aftermarket speedometer. You might want to go with GPS speedometer. You may want to go with an older style speedometer, like out of one of the older trucks from, let's say, I think like 89 and back. Maybe I think they were all cable operated in 89. I'm pretty sure they were. I've got an 89 model truck, but I'm going to clean off my screen that goes on here. This is the bezel. Okay, that goes right there. Ta-da! Look at that. Isn't that much nicer? Now I'm going to clean off the lens. I called it a screen, but it's a lens. I'm going to clean this off real quick, and I'll be right back.